Hey, what's up? Ian here, and I'm back with another review video. And today I'm very happy because it's a bright and sunny day out there, but well, it doesn't matter because my room is all closed up. Right, anyway, today I'd like to talk about this TINHIFI CO or C0 or whatever you want to call it. It's ELF. Yeah, and this is a very special bullet style earphone. It's open back, right? As you can see, this is an open back earphone, bullet style. And the retail price for this is amazing. It's just 18 bucks, right? $18 for this open back earphones, and it's available on Linso's website. So if you want to find out more, do check out the unaffiliated link in the description below. Okay, so in this video, I'm gonna share with you guys my sound impression, the accessories, design, build quality, fit and comfort, and my star rating for this TINHIFI CO or C0. Okay, and this video will have time chapters, so if you want to skip to the different chapters, please feel free to do so. Okay, so let's first start off with the box. All right, so it comes in this box like so. Very nice box. On the box is called ELF. And then after that is CO or C0 at the back here. So I'm not too sure what to name this, but I'm just going to call it C0, okay? Because they have C1, C2, C3, C4, those kind of things. So yeah, we just call it C0. Okay, anyway, let's talk about the specs of this. It is not shown on the box, so I'm just going to read it out to you. Now, the diaphragm, this driver here is a 10mm dynamic driver, and it's a PU+ titanium composite diaphragm. And the specs for this, let me just scroll down. The sensitivity is 105, and the frequency range is 20 to 20,000 Hertz. And the impedance is 32 ohms. And the overall, well, they do give you a max distortion, which is 3%, which is pretty high. But yeah, anyway, that is the specs for this TINHIFI C0. Okay, now let's talk about the accessories. And first, let's talk about ear tips. Ear tips, it comes with a pretty soft ear tips. As you can see, it's very, very soft. And there's a reason for that, and I'll talk about it in the fit and comfort section. But yeah, it's a pretty soft ear tip, and it kind of articulates quite a bit because it's soft. The inner core is quite soft. So yeah, that's for ear tips. Now, in terms of the cable, you have two types, right? You have the 3.5 headphone jack, or you can choose the USB-C cable. So for those of you who use a lot of Android phones and you don't have your 3.5 headphone jack, headphone port on your phone, then I would suggest to go for the USB-C, but I cannot verify if the USB-C connection has got a DAC chip in there or not. So yeah, because they sent me this 3.5, so I can't verify on that. So anyway, there are two options for the cable. Now the cable, I would say, is a little bit on the thinner side, and this is their stock cable. And this is not my first time seeing the TINHIFI stock cable. It's quite thin, right, and it's, well, usable, but it tends to tangle quite a bit. As you can see, when it splits out to the individual earphones, it becomes really, really thin, okay? And it does become a rat nest if I were to put it in my pocket and bundle it up. Ear hooks are fine, but it's a little bit on this. The angle of it is a little bit odd for my ears, but I'll explain that later. Okay, so that's for the cable. Now let's talk about the build, design and build quality of this earphones. And actually, I have no complaints about this design. It's a very nice design, and if you look at the back, if you got this perforated metal plate here, and this allows the sound to go in or out from the back of this IEM. So that's the reason why this is an open back IEM. This is an open back bullet style type of IEM, and the driver sits somewhere here. So in terms of the design wise, it's really nice. The build quality of it is also really nice for 17 bucks, right? So this is a metal shell, okay, and the entire thing is made of metal. There's no, well, a bit of plastic here at the front here, but other than that, the body itself, the housing itself, is metal. Okay, so very nice design and build quality. Now, in terms of fit and comfort. So that's the reason why I want to, you know, come back to the ear hooks and the ear tips when it comes to fit and comfort. No, ear tips, the reason why it's soft, right? Why it's a good thing that it's soft is because when this earphone goes into my ear, because it is a bullet style, and because of this ear hooks, it tends to go in at the odd angle like so, and because of this odd angle that it goes in, the ear hooks is somehow trying to tug the IEM out from the ear. So, and also it you know, pushes the IEM at a certain angle. So that's the reason why I say, you know, the ear tips, they are good, that it's soft and it articulates quite a bit. And then when it comes to the ear hooks, this ear hooks, well, the angle of this bullet style IEM is not really meant for ear hooks, but there are two types, right? So on their website itself, they do give you an option to have removable ear hooks. So if you choose those, that'll be a better option for you, so that you get two wearing style. One style is for the cable to go over your ear, and the other style is whereby the cable is, you know, hanging down from the IEM itself. So I would suggest to choose the one with the removable ear hooks. Okay, so that's for fit and comfort. And now let's talk about the sound. First, let's talk about drivability, and this, I would say, is okay, pretty reasonable to drive. It's not the easiest to drive. I've been listening to this at about 50 to 60% volume, and well, I find that if I were to give it more power, it opens up a little bit more. Okay, because I think because it's got something to do with the open back, and it's harder to push the driver because it's not an enclosed shell, I would say. So sound needs a bit more push to actually, you know, give it more bass, or give it a bit more volume to travel to my ears. So yeah, but I used it with my iPhone and my Android phone, and also my dongles and DAPs. They're pretty fine. I mean, when I listen to it, it's fine. It's just that if I were to give it a bit more power, it tends to sound more fuller. Now, in terms of gear matching, I would say gears that are neutral sounding, like M15, M15S, M0 Pro from Shanling, right? And those gears, they match these earphones really well. Okay, this is more of a neutral sound to balanced sounding type of tone and timbre. Right, yeah, so since I'm talking about tone and timbre, yeah, this is more neutral sounding and a bit more lean, I would say, in terms of the note weight, and quite a linear type of the bass, right? So that's the reason why this one sounds a little bit more neutral, okay, and a bit more thin, I would say. Overall, tone and timbre is a bit on the thinner side and the lighter side. Okay, now in terms of the technical performance, and these are really good. The selling point actually for this earphone is the open back, right? This open back here allows the soundstage to open up, and it's a different dimension when I'm listening to these, and they sound more immersed in my environment. And overall, I can, even when I'm measuring these, right, my environment is affecting the overall measurement. Okay, so I actually had to go to a very quiet environment, or well, turn off my air conditioning and all that stuff, and it's actually a very organic type of soundstage. So when I listen to this, the soundstage is like outside my head, very open, it's wide, good width and good height as well, and the overall sound separation is really fantastic. The layers of it is, because of the space given, right? Sound travels at a different speed, at different frequencies, so basically I get different layers of sound, and well, it's a pity that this is just a single dynamic driver. I mean, if there are more drivers in there, then you have different drivers giving you or producing different frequencies that give you different layers of sound. But yeah, it's just my wish list. But anyway, the overall sound separation and the imaging is fantastic on this. Even the detail retrieval on this is also really good. I can pick up a lot of nuances on this IEM. Well, for the fact that this is a linear sounding IEM and, well, not much bass, all right, I can pick up a lot of nuances. Like Outcast, when I listen to it, there's a lot of cowbells behind, and the cowbells, they are really prominent in this earphones. Okay, now in terms of overall resolution, resolution is okay. I mean, for the price, for 17 bucks, this is really nice. And well, overall, it's not the most resolving earphone, but for the price of 17 bucks, it does perform well. Okay, now in terms of the sound signature, I'll post a graph somewhere up here. As you can see, right, it's a pretty linear bass. In terms of ratio, all right, I would say the bass is maybe +1, the mids is 0, and the treble is about +2, +3. So in terms of the overall ratio and the balance of this, this is a pretty linear sounding earphones. And when I listen to it, it's bass light and a little bit of mid bass, and overall a very clean, analytical, more clinical type of listening experience. Now in terms of sub bass, the rumble is there. It's a very shy rumble. It's there when needed. It's on necessity basis, right? So basically, rumble is a little bit rolled off. So it's not an extended rumble whereby you can feel that rumble all year round, all track round, you know, that kind of thing. So basically, it's there, it's nice, it's lean, it's light type of rumble. Now in terms of the mid bass is a little bit better than the sub bass. It's got a bit more presence, and the thump is a bit more weighty. Okay, so I would say, yeah, mid bass is pretty good. Kick drums, bass guitars, they sound correct. Yeah, quite balanced on these earphones. Now in terms of mids is where these earphones shine. Okay, they sound really nice and forward and clear and clean and detailed, right? And the note weight is a little bit on the correct side, not too heavy, not too light, and overall balanced type of tonality of the mids. My instrument sounds really nice on this. So when I listen to orchestra, Hans Zimmer, you know, they sound really nice and correct on this. Now in terms of vocals, male vocals, they sound shy. Yeah, they sound shy on this. Really shy males, you know, on these IEMs, but you know, they sound correct. All right, they are not those authoritative and affirmative type of male vocals on this, but they sound correct in the mix. So if you want something correct, balanced, not too overwhelming type of male vocals, then it's fine. Yeah, but if you but if you like those type of warm, assertive type of male vocals in your mix, very forward, then you know, this may not be the earphones for you. Now in terms of female vocals, that really shines. Female vocals, they sound angelic. They are bright, they are energetic, they are not sibilant, they are not shouty. They are very sweet sounding on these earphones. They are not too heavy in the note weight, they are not too light as well, and there's no bass to really push their voice to make it sound like they are males. They sound really nice and angelic on this earphone. So female vocals, they shine on these earphones. I like listening to female vocals on this. Now in terms of treble is safe, very safe. Treble is just below, in terms of the gain, it's just below the Harman target, right? And that's a very, very smart move, right? And it's not sibilant, it's not harsh as well. And the overall treble is very, very airy. And what I like about the treble is that cymbal crashes, hi-hats, they sound really nice and open. Okay, they are not naturally rolled off. Okay, even though there is like a nice sharp roll off at the end, but at the tail end, which I can't really hear. But overall, this is a very nice and airy treble. Okay, so a safe and nice and airy treble. Okay, so that's for the treble. Okay, and that's it. That's the overall sound signature of this TINHIFI C0. I would say this is suitable for orchestras, classical, female vocals, instrumental, and yeah, some world music, I guess, some instrumental music. Not really suitable for rock or heavy metal or trance, EDMs, R&B. This will sound a little bit too light for that. Jazz sounds really good on this, right? Jazz has got not too much emphasis on bass, or you don't need too much bass for jazz, right? But they sound really good. And there's also vocal jazz as well on this. Is really nice. Female vocal jazz sounds really great on this. Okay, and 17 bucks. Yeah, I would give this a star rating of 3 stars out of 5. Okay, so that's my star rating of this TINHIFI C0. Sounds neutral, sounds great. Well, if you are into clinical listening, like classical, this is the IEM that I would recommend. And that's it. That concludes my overall review of this TINHIFI C0. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, please give this video a thumbs up, and also please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So I hope you guys have a great day ahead, and I'll see you again in my next review. Cheers.